let's have a look. It was a good game. Bishop e5 and d5. And that's what I really liked, because in the previous game, you had something similar, and you didn't spot that you could just win a pawn. Here you did spot it, because you first took on d5. You don't have to. You can also straight away take on e5, but you've chose to take on d5 first, which is fine. Knight takes. You say, "Thank you very much. I'm taking your pawn."
Yeah.
That made me happy when I saw that. Just punishing the pawn moves, and winning a central pawn on move 6. That's a good start of this game.
Yeah.
He played queen e7, pinning your knight, and the knight, of course, cannot play. So the threat is for black to just take the knight. And you played d4 to protect the knight. And a better move in this position, instead of d4, and I would not have expected you to see it, because this is not so easy, but look at this move. You could have just castled.
I thought that. Yeah.
Okay. And why did you think that?
I thought just to keep my king safe, but then he lets off. If he takes it, then it's pinned.
If he takes it, then it's pinned. What do you mean?
Move the rook to e1.
Exactly. Yeah. Excellent. So you saw that. Well done. Yeah. Yes. So you give up on a piece, but you get a queen for a rook back, because his best move is just to take the rook now, and you have won a queen for a rook and knight, which is a good deal.
Yeah, 2 pins there.
Exactly. Yeah. Quite. Yeah. Nice pins, and that's what happens, of course, with kings in the center of the board. There can be pins.
Yeah.
So, but that's not an easy move to find, castling. But it was possible here. But after d4, the problem is that he can now, and we have another pin. He can, first he has to, this knight is hanging, so first he has to take on c3, swap the knight. Knight takes c3, and if you recapture, he has another pin. How can now black win a piece with another pin?
Another pin. I've got a pin.
So the knight is pinned, but how can black win the knight? That's my question, really.
How can black win the knight? He moves the pawn to f6.
Exactly. f6. Little move, pinning the knight. And the knight, sorry, not pinning the knight. Knight is already pinned, but attacking the knight. And the knight cannot move. And on the next move, he plays f takes e5, wins the knight. So that was possible after your move d4, which you played. So black would have used the pin by taking on c3 first. And if you recapture, he has f6. That wins the piece. But black didn't see it. He played queen b4. And you now played a nice series of moves. You took on c6, b takes, and bishop takes check, winning the rook in the corner. So I got really enthusiastic about this part of the game. Just ruthlessly punishing your opponent's mistakes. Bishop d7, and the rook is hanging in a corner. And you are material up. You're a full rook up now.
Nice.
Nice. And we've only played 10 moves. You see how quickly things can go. He took on c3. Yeah, and this is why it's probably not the game of your life, because I wonder why you did not recapture. You played bishop d2. Black just took one of your pieces, and you decided not to recapture. Can you explain your move?
No.
Okay. I think what you might have been afraid of is if you recapture that with queen takes c3 check, he does the same to you as you did to him, winning the rook in the corner that you just did to him.
Yeah, I wouldn't have saw that, in all honesty. So it wasn't that.
Okay. Okay, but now we're here. Does it really win the rook in the corner? Or does white have a way out?
Bishop to d2.
Yeah, and the rook is protected.
Yeah.
So there's no, he's not winning material.
So was my queen hanging then?
Yes, after knight takes c3, you played bishop d2. Okay, you're pinning the knight,
Oh, yeah.
but you let your queen hang, and he could have actually, he didn't see it, but he could now have won with queen e7 check, get the queen out of get the knight out of the pin, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
if you interpose, then he takes your queen, and
Oh,
suddenly
yeah.
black is better. So that's why it's not the game of your life, and I had not seen that when I quickly went through it. Bishop d2 is a very strange move here.
Yeah.
It's spinning the knight, but he's just taken something. He's just taken a piece of you, and you're even queen takes knight takes d1 is a move, and then it will be a swap of queens, and he has just taken a knight. So bishop d2 is a strange move.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, he didn't see it. He played queen takes d4, and now you recapture the piece. So how would you, if you could do this again, how would you recapture the knight that he just took? Bishop takes c3 or b takes c3? What is your
The pawn takes
and why?
to open my rook on the B file.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
what I'm.
Yeah. Doubled isolated pawns is not great for your pawn structure.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's a big mistake, but hang on, where were we here? Bishop takes c3, attacking the queen again feels more harmonious. You know, the bishop is really active now. Your pawns are still nicely straightened out. Okay, you don't have the b file for your rook, that is true, but this feels more harmonious. Happy pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the rook will eventually come in the game this way. So it's a small thing, Aaron, but we're talking more and more about smaller things now.
Yeah.
But okay, b takes c3, as I said, it's not a bad move. It's just double isolated pawns. Okay, in this case, it doesn't make a huge deal. It doesn't make a huge difference because you're a rook up. But this pawn structure is not very pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He gave a check. You put the queen in between. He played f6, bishop e3. I guess when we talked as well about when you're ahead of material, swap pieces. So this was probably a good moment to get the queens off the board.
Yeah.
You're rook up, so with the queens off the board, you make life easier for yourself. So queen takes e5 makes a lot of sense here.
Yeah.
Just from a practical point of view, because objectively, bishop e3 is a fine move. Yeah. So yeah, get those queens off. He played queen e6. You castled. King is safe. Bishop c6, and now you did the right thing. Of course, just swap them off.
Yeah.
And grab another pawn with check. Thank you very much. We have another pawn.
Nice.
Bishop e7. Bring the bishop back. I like that as well. Bringing the bishop back into the game. Sorry, you want to say something?
No.
Oh.
I just said that was nice. Nice. I love little moves where you take a free pawn, we check. Just I like stuff like that.
Yes, this is a nice move. Yeah, and yeah, that's it. That's a pretty move, and that's his problem. His king is still in the middle. Then you're asking for that type of trouble. So bishop back to d4, but that's what I like, that you brought your bishop back into the game straight away. You know, you didn't, even though it was not attacked on a7, it was fine on a7, but you centralized your bishop, and that's, you know, a year ago you did not even think of this type of move, and now you make it. So this is really a move I really like. Bishop d4, get the bishop back into the game. f5, rook fe1, I like that as well. A lot of strength there on the e file, and you're threatening to take on e7. That would be checkmate. So he protects his bishop. Now you make your other rook happy, rook ab1 on that open file that you created for yourself, and c5. Okay, attacking your bishop. I guess you could have
I could have took on G7.
yes, I guess you can take on
I'm
g7
not
and just
looking
grab.
at the rook on B1 to B8.
Yes, that was I was looking at. So, um, well, rook b1 to b8. Is that a good move, rook b8 at this moment?
Oh no, no, I meant before 2 moves or 3 moves ago, before you brought the queen to protect.
Okay, well, it's only a move ago that you played your rook to b1. This was the position. Oh,
Yeah.
then he played c5. Yeah, now he's protecting this square. Well, it's good that you saw that. But I guess what you could do here is nice deflecting the queen. You could take the pawn, and if he
Oh,
recaptures, then you come in. The,
oh,
the queen
no.
is no longer covering that square. Do you see that?
Yeah, beautiful move.
Yeah, so bishop takes c5 is a nice move here. And that's, black is just asking for this type of trouble. These type of tactics, they just appear when you have a nice position.
Yeah,
Um, and they don't appear when you have a bad position. His king in the center of the board on the 21st move is a crime. And then you're just asking for moves like bishop takes c5 and that you get hammered on the back rank. Okay. You play bishop e3 instead. Nothing wrong with that move. You're still totally winning. Um, what are you up? You're still a full rook up, yeah. So he castled finally.
and 2 pawns up as well.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you're totally winning here. Rook ed1, attacking the queen. Queen e6. You went back. You didn't want to have an unprotected queen. I like that. Rook f6. Bishop g5. I like that move as well.
Nice.
Yeah, threatening to swap the queens and threatening the rook on f6. And if the rook plays, you can also take on e7. You're just getting more material off the board this way. So that's a very nice move, bishop g5. That's a lovely move. He doesn't want to swap the queens. He goes into, he takes the pawn just because swapping the queens is, then he's definitely not going to win. And you went with rook b8 check, king f7, and now you said, okay, there is a free bishop there, and I'm
Nice.
taking it.
Good.
Um, I'm not blaming you. I would have probably played the same, but there's a very nice mate in two here. I show you the first move, queen h5 check, and now black has two responses. I'll first let you find the two moves that black has.
Rook to g7, g6, sorry.
Yeah, and the other defense is
Pawn to g6.
exactly. So let's have a look. What happens? What is mate in one after rook g6?
It is. So we can't go there. Can't go there. Hold on. So we can't go there. Can't go there. Can't go there. I would take on rook to e7.
Exactly. Checkmate. And you're attacking with all his pieces. Very
No,
nice.
even at my level, I still look for the queen to be the front runner of the checkmate still
Oh, yeah. Well, it often is.
because it
Not
covers
always.
more squares.
Yes, that is true. That is true. No, as I said, I would have taken that free bishop as well. Just wanted to show you this nice checkmate.
Yeah,
So
lovely.
the other move is g6, and now what is mate in one?
It would be queen to h7.
Exactly. Yeah, another nice checkmate. So as I said, I would also have taken that free bishop with check instead of, but yeah, queen h5 is a nice mate in two. Just wanted to show you. So you took with check. Thank you very much. Another piece. King g6 only move. And now you took the rook. Ruthless. And this is why I kept saying, oh, this is the best game you ever played because you're just ruthless. You're taking his stuff.
Yeah.
And that's what I really liked how clinical you were in this game. He recaptures. And now what are you up? A queen and a rook? Yeah.
Yeah. And one, two, three, four, pawn.
And I like this move as well. Rook b7.
Yeah.
All sorts of threats against his king now. It's a miracle that he doesn't get checkmated. Queen g8 has to be played, getting the queen back into defense. You say, thank you, I'll take another pawn. h5, queen e3.
I was laughing to myself here. For here we go.
Yeah, well, exactly. It is totally winning, of course. Queen c8. Well, in fairness to him, he plays on a bit like you in the previous game. Attacking your rook. You first gave a check. King h6, and now you have mate in one again.
Queen to G7.
Exactly. That would have been a nice finish of this game. Unfortunately, you just saved your rook. Rook to B to B1. Again, it's not a problem. You saw that your rook was attacked. You're bringing it back. You're totally winning, obviously. Queen H8 to deal with, well, to get the queen closer to his king for any checkmates. Queen D6, Queen H7.
Just arsey-farcy stuff now, to be fair.
Well, you didn't see a checkmate. So what did you do? You push the pawn. And that's what I like as well. You know, if you don't see the immediate kill, you have a clear passed pawn, push it up the board. No problem with that. Queen G6. Yeah, now he sets up his last trick like you did in the previous game. C5, F4,
The difference with
C6.
his trick is it's like his soldiers walking past our camp in the office, and we just let him walk in. That was
Yeah,
the difference I felt.
yeah. And it's, you know, it is it the soldier is not going anywhere. Well, he has one threat now, the mate in one that you fell for. So let's not. So you played C7, and then it was checkmate.
Yeah.
So what do you do here once you see that he is threatening mate in one?
The two moves I've seen now is the first one is pawn to G3,
Mm-hmm.
and the second one is bringing my queen back to F4.
Yeah.
And then when he moves, taking the pawn on F3.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And then there's nothing. You can also checkmate him with like this: Rook B7, King F8, Queen B8 check. He has to interpose the queen, and this is checkmate. You know, you have so much extra stuff that checkmate is always looming. I think this is what I said in my message, that you also had a checkmate. But again, if you don't see the checkmate, I also like that you then just take that dangerous pawn off and no more checkmate, and then you can continue.
Did you have another way to defend it, Rick?
Well, I just want to talk about G3. That was your first move. Of course, it's more than good enough. The only reason I don't like it as much is that black might have this maneuver. And it would still be, he still has a checkmate threat. You know, that's why I liked more the queen F4 check and then king G7, and then you just take off that pawn, and your king is still safe.
Now, having some time away, I haven't played chess in a couple of days. Coming back to it, that queen check, you know, sort of a double attack, if you will, check whatever. F3, I see it now.
Yeah.
The other day, it was, I only see G3, Rick.
Yeah.
Now there's not.
Yeah. Yeah, and as I said, G3 is good enough. You know, it's not a bad move. The only thing is that he can, you know, it doesn't work, of course, because let's say he plays queen G4. You can immediately swap the queens now if you want. How do you immediately swap the queens here?
I'd take the pawn on F6.
Yeah, that's also possible. And I just was looking at this one.
Oh yeah.
Check, and he has to swap the queens now.
Yeah.
But your move, queen takes F6, is also more than good enough. I mean, you're two rooks up, what we're talking about. The only thing you have to do is make sure you don't get checkmated.
And that's the one thing that I made sure that happened.
Yeah, yeah. But the same with your opponent in the previous one. You know, he also. So don't worry about it. Those things happen. Overall, a very, very good game, Aran. That's what I want to say.
Yeah, it is actually.
It is a very, very good game.
If I noticed the checkmates in one a bit earlier or the checkmates in two, I probably would have dusted it off. The fact that I can now see queen to F4 and then take, I'm very calm, to be honest. I've had such a busy weekend. Chess, normally it's a huge priority. Today, it's just life has got in the way, so I've had to just quickly meet you to do this. And because I'm a bit more relaxed, I can see things more clearer. But when I care too much, you're rocking on the chair. It's a different beast when you care so much.
Yes, it is, and it's you're right, and we've talked about it so many times. It's so easy now for you and me to go over the game and see all sorts of stuff. But when you're in the heat of the battle, it's not that easy. I completely understand and recognize that. Anything else on this game, Aaron?
No.
Okay.